Good morning. I had some multisensory and kinesthetic activities I wanted to share with you guys that might help with the sight words, the rainbow words. Um, I personally don't know which color everybody is on. Miss Cheryl, that's kind of her thing that she likes to do with the kids. But I'm going to suggest that when it comes to learning the words, start with maybe 3 at a time and just practice mastering those 3 and then add another card and then you practice the 4 together and then you keep doing that. You could add 1 or 2 cards at a time, but start out small. That will definitely eliminate frustration. And some activities with things that you have around the house that you guys could do optional to get that movement going and to make it kind of fun instead of just drilling flashcards like we learned in school a million years ago. I'm going to share my screen with you and show you some ideas that I have that might help. Now, feel free to use these, don't use these, do what you want with them. I just wanted to put it out there and just maybe change it up if you need to. So these are basic solo, you know, the what do they call them? The blue solo cup, I guess you could say. You can use a Sharpie and write the sight word on the cup. I use a Post-it, that way I can reuse the cups. And I'm going to show you another activity with the Post-its next. But stack the cups, kind of like something you would see at like the fair, and grab a soft squishy ball. And then what you'll do is you'll say a word, or not you, but the students, the kids will say a word and try to knock that cup over. So it kind of makes it like a fair game. So if I'm gonna shoot for the top because that's easier. I'm gonna try to throw the ball at the word. I'm gonna say can, and I'm gonna throw the ball and try to hit it. And you can just keep going like that. You can definitely use more than the 6 I have. Another activity you can do is take the Post-its off and knock all the cups over like so. And I'm going to lay them on the table. Ooh. Hopefully you're not dizzy now. So I'm going to lay these down on the table. And if you have a fly swatter, go ahead and use a fly swatter. If you don't have one, you can use a spatula. You can even use your hand. I'm personally going to use my hand and kind of play like the whack-a-mole game at Chuck E. Cheese, as silly as that sounds. Let's see, zoom out a little bit. So I'm gonna have my cards out or your Post-its, and I'm going to say 4, and I can keep that card. And then I'm going to say am, and then I keep the card. And you can make it interactive. They can do it by themselves. You can do it as a family. Older siblings or younger siblings can help if you want. So that's another option. Let's see. We have several options. You can use Play-Doh. You can spell out the words with Play-Doh if you have Play-Doh at home. If you don't have Play-Doh at home, I have plenty of Play-Doh recipes I can send home, and you can make Play-Doh at home to do this. So I spelled out the word and it does not need to be perfect. I know some of the kids are, Miss Wall, your letters are 2 different sizes. Yeah, well, what can I say? I'm not perfect. So you can spell out the words with Play-Doh and have them literally spell out the word. A-N spells an. Have them say it. You can have them trace it. A-N spells an. That's another option. You can make dominoes. I just used flashcards that I had laying around the house, cut them in half, made dominoes. So what you can do is play again as a family. I don't know how to play dominoes exactly. I don't know how many tiles everybody starts with, but you can definitely share. So let's see if I can do this. I don't think I did it. So, oh, here we go. So I have no, and when I pair up the word, I'm going to read it and then I'm going to spell it. K-N-O-W, no. And then here I paired up we, W-E, we. So have them spell it. They can write it to spell it. They can write it in the air. They can trace it on the domino. They can use the little whiteboards that I made with the whiteboard markers and do it that way. Let's see, what else do I have? I have Tic-Tac-Toe. So you can create your own Tic-Tac-Toe board and you can fill in the blanks for the words. One of you is X's, the other is O. And before I put my X or my O in the spot, I have to read the word. And then whoever wins, a regular tic-tac-toe game. Or you can have a blank tic-tac-toe grid and you use 2 words at a time. So let's say I'm going to use the word this and my partner is going to use the word some. So it's my turn. I'm going to write this, and I'm going to spell it T-H-I-S as I write it. And then my partner is going to do the same. Their word is some. They're going to say S-O-M-E. So these are the only 2 words that you'll use in this game. So that's another option. Let's see, a puzzle. It doesn't need to be a board puzzle like this. It can be a 24-piece jigsaw puzzle. And what I did was, one at a time, you'll pop out the pieces, and on the back, you'll write the word, and then in the spot where it would go, you write the word as well. So then I take all my pieces out. Oh, I didn't finish, so we'll leave those there. So now I'm going to, my pieces all have words on them. And I'm going to find a word. So here's the word was. I'm going to spell it and I'm going to trace it. Was, W-A-S, was. And then I get to put it in the spot. And then I'm going to try R, R, A-R-E, or do it in the air, A-R-E, R. And then I match it with the word on the board. That's another option. Let's see, what else do I have? I have a parking lot. Where's my parking lot? Oh, I lost my parking lot. Oh, here we go. So you'll need a piece of paper, a car, or even a little toy or action figure works really well. And what you'll do with your parking lot is you'll take your car or your action figure and it sounds silly, you're going to drive to the word that you want to read and spell. So I'll take my car and I'm going to start with the word have. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to say have, H-A-V-E, and then pull in. Or you can pull in and then read the word. Have, H-A-V-E, have. And then you just keep going. I, capital I. The, T-H-E, the. And if you want to use multiple cars, you're more than welcome to kind of block off the spaces that you've already done. You can use your Play-Doh and put it in the spot. There's a game you can play with the Play-Doh. It's called Smash 'em. And you can use your parking lot for this game as well. And just put a small ball of Play-Doh near each word. In this game, you may not like me for because it might get a little loud. Sorry. So you have the Play-Doh here, and then the students spell and read the word. So they'll write it in the air, or they can write it on the paper. The T-H-E, and if they get it right, they get to smash the Play-Doh. Okay. Hopefully they're not smashing really hard on the table, or they're just using your finger, but you can set the rules and the boundaries for that one. Another great idea that I've seen is the yellow legal paper, or even yellow construction paper, printer paper. For some reason, the yellow background and a red marker, pen, or crayon, it makes the words stand out, and it triggers something in the brain. And so that helps students a lot as well. So you can have them write on yellow paper with a red crayon, marker, pencil. If you have sandpaper laying around, lay down sandpaper and then a piece of paper on top. And you can get your crayons, your markers, and I'm going to grab red because red triggers something in the brain, and I'm going to write the word was. And hopefully you have rougher sandpaper than I do, but it makes the word rough, and they can trace over it with their hand once they're done writing it, and they can feel the bumps. It's that sensory learning. Sounds very strange, but these are things I wish that they knew back when I was in school. Maybe it would have made learning my sight words a whole lot easier. That's another option you can do. You can write the frames, you can frame the word. So what that means is make boxes. So if I'm going to write the word, what word can I write? I'll do the word can. So I'm making little boxes. And it teaches the students the shape of the word. And then I'm going to write can. And for the words that have bigger letters, like the boxes are just a little bit longer. And it helps teach the shape, so that way when students are reading, they also see the shape of the word, and it helps them identify that, okay, 2 tall letters are going to go here. So if I write the, I know that can isn't going to fit here because these first 2 letters are tall letters, or like the word yes. My Y it goes down. E-S. So I know the is not going to fit in here. I know have is not going to fit in here because the letter shapes are different. So this is another option that you have. I have a sheet with a bunch of activities you can do. I will email that to everybody. I hope this was helpful and it gives some other ideas. If you want me to type them out for you so you have something to reference, I'm more than happy to do that. I have some bingo. I think I have some bingo boards that I can email. So if these are things that you're interested in, I will be more than happy to share it. If I'm able to share the files. You can even look on Teachers Pay Teachers. You don't have to be a teacher. They offer a bazillion free activities. But these are just simple things that you can do at home. I'll stop my sharing of my screen. These are just simple things that you can create at home to change it up. I'm also going to do something similar, but with math activities with a deck of cards and dice. Trying to think if there was anything. Oh, the Game Connect 4. If you have the Game Connect 4 at home, you can cut out small circles and use a piece of tape and stick this and write a letter on the circle. And you have to spell a word as you're putting your piece in. And once you spell that word, you read the word. For Candyland, you can write the sight words on the colors. And instead of just moving the space because you have the color, you have to read the sight word as well. That's another option. If I can think of, oh, another thing you can do with the sight words, if you make cards, you can play sight word Go Fish. I did this in the classroom and I used regular flashcards, and the kids were able to read the word through the flashcards. So it was not very productive. So my recommendation is using construction paper if you have it, or writing the words in pencil. That way it can't be seen through. You can play memory with the sight words. I think that's it for right now. If you have any questions, please, please, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm more than happy to share this, type it up, send it to you in a document. Hopefully you found it helpful, something just different, multisensory to get everybody moving and those wheels turning, the kinesthetic activity. So I hope that helped. Be on the lookout for the math video.